I'm Jen from House One, and today I'm showing how to build a wood plank wall planter. Today I'm showing how I created a wall hung planter by adding vinyl plank flooring to a piece of plywood, and then adding a shallow planter for faux stems. To get started, I laid out the planks to determine the height of the planter using 5 rows of flooring. I marked the height on a 1/2 inch thick piece of plywood and made the cut using a circular saw. Next, I cut the plywood to the width of the planter and then set the plywood aside. Since this planter is going to be fairly heavy once the planks are attached to the plywood, I'm going to be using a French cleat to hang it, and I'm going to make it myself using a scrap board and my circular saw. To create the French cleat, I tilted the angle of my circular saw blade and ripped the length of the board to create 2 beveled pieces that nest together. Next, I oriented the cleat on the back of the plywood board so that the top board attaches to the planter and the bottom board attaches to the wall to lock it in and support the assembly. I also attached another strip of the same thickness lower on the plywood board, and that's just so that if anybody ever presses along the bottom of the planter, it would never tilt the planter away from the wall. I applied glue and then adjusted the height of the cleat on the plywood using a combination square to ensure the cleat and planter would set level. Using a drill driver, I screwed through the strips and into the plywood, and then flipped the assembly to screw through the plywood and into the strips to ensure a secure connection. Next, it was time to install the planks. Now, I like using this product because it's pre-finished, so I don't have to worry about painting or staining bare wood. But anything could make a great backdrop for this planter, even wallpaper. The planks I'm using are about 1/4 inch thick and have a groove that locks them together. So I applied glue to the plywood, clicked them together, and then used a pin nailer to face nail them to the plywood. Once the planks were installed, it was time to create the planter. First, I flipped the assembly so that I could install the 1x base of the planter. I pre-drilled holes and then connected the parts with screws. Next, I glued and nailed a strip of 1/4 inch plywood to the face of the board, and then enclosed the ends with the same material. To conceal the edge of the plywood and planks, I glued and nailed a strip of 1/4 inch thick molding to the top and side edges. It was now time to fill the planter, but faux plants can be very expensive, and they come in a grouping, which can leave gaps in a long linear planter like mine. So I opted to use individual stems instead. I found that they're less expensive and come in varying heights, so I could just stick them into the foam blocks for a more uniform look. Once the cleat was installed on the wall, I hooked the planter in place and stepped back to enjoy the maintenance-free pop of greenery in our new home gym. I hope you enjoyed this project. For more easy DIY projects or to see the full transformation of our storage room into a home gym, visit the House One channel on thisoldhouse.com. I'm Jenn Largesse, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you'd like what you see, click on the subscribe button. Make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.